Let's get started with another video from firewall lessons. In previous video I have given the introduction to the Cisco ASA Firewall. This video will cover about initial configuration to the Cisco ASA Firewall and ASDM configuration. ASDM stands for Adaptive Security Device Manager. This is one of the application that you can install in your firewall, and through that you can access the firewall using graphical user interface. This one also we will cover in this video, as well as the traffic flow by using security level, and this thing also we will deeply cover in this session, right? To configure firewall there are two methods, manual and factory default. Any one of the method you can use. First of all, I will use the write erase command. This command depends. Let's say for example you are using used firewall, then if you want to start the firewall configuration from the scratch, then you can use this command to delete all the configuration from the flash memory, right? So I will use this command, enter, then confirm it, then you have to reload the firewall. Okay, firewall restarted. We will start with the factory default command. What it will do, it will provide the IP address to the management computer automatically, right? So there is no any manual intervention. So currently firewall management interface is connected with the computer. So once we assign this command, configure factory default command, it will provide the IP information to the computer which is connected to the firewall automatically, right? At the same time, for this particular subnet, HTTP service also will be enabled, right? So let's start with the configuration. I will just go to the global configuration mode. You have to agree, yes. Then configure factory default. Then from which subnet you need to allocate the IP address to the management computer, as well as for the management interface over here, right? So I will give the IP address 192.168, whatever the IP I have mentioned over here, 192.168.152.1. this is the IP address which I am going to give to the management 0/0 interface in firewall. 255.255.255.0. hit enter. Then it will provide IP address to management computer from the 192.168.152 subnet, right? At the same time, it will enable the HTTP service, as you can see over here, as well as from which subnet the HTTP service should run. That one also you can see over here, and that is management subnet. This network interface card is connected to my computer. Currently the IP address is manual. What I will do, I will select the obtain an IP address automatically. Once we click this option, this network adapter will get the IP address automatically from the firewall. Okay, you got the IP address. From here onwards, what you can do, you can ping the management interface, ping 192.168.152.1. this is the IP address of the firewall management interface. Yes, you can ping. At the same time, my IP address, IP config. So this is the IP address to my interface. From the firewall also you can ping at the same time. Yes, it is success. Okay, now let's verify manual method, how it will work. First of all, I will delete again all the configuration, write erase, enter, and we have to reload the firewall. Okay, here you can verify all the configuration gone from firewall. Show run. It will show all the configuration. Currently there is no any configuration because we already gave the write erase command. Okay, this time we will configure all the things manually. So first of all, let's configure the IP address for management interface. I will get into the global configuration mode, interface, management 0/0, the management interface of firewall. And two things, whenever you configure firewall interfaces, two things you must give. One is IP address as well as the security level. So here whenever we configure any IP address in management interface. At the same time, we will provide security level 100, then can access the firewall via graphical user interface from the management computer. Okay, so first of all, I will assign a name for the management interface, name if. This is the method you will use to give the name for the management interface. Name if management. Security level I will provide 100. At the same time, you need to give no shut command. It will make the port up. Then IP address 192.168.152.1, no shut. Okay, then you can verify what is the IP address in my management interface. 152.1. right, this time there is no DHCP service enabled, no HTTP service enabled, right? So even I don't like to enable the DHCP service in firewall. Instead you can use routers or something. The firewall you don't need to use. Only HTTP service we will enable. Before that, we will make our management interface IP address manual. So I will provide the IP address 192.168.152.11. Any IP address you can provide with the same subnet. Okay, gateway 1. Close. Okay, it's enough. It's working. Okay, it's also working fine, right? Okay, then we will enable the HTTP service in the firewall. For enabling the HTTP service, you have to type the command HTTP server enable command. So this way you can access the ASA via browser. Then at the same time, this HTTP service will run for a specific subnet. That is our management subnet 152.0/24. So I will provide HTTP. Then you have to provide the IP address of that particular subnet 192.168.152.0. Then netmask 0. Then you have to provide the interface from management interface only. We will do that one, management, enter. Right. So from that management interface, you can access the ASA via graphical user interface. So in order to enable it, you have to make sure the ASDM image is available or not in your ASA firewall. So for that purpose, I will type the command dir flash enter. Here you can you cannot see any of the file with the extension of .bin, right? So normally that ASDM image will be with the extension of .bin. So that .bin file not available over here, right? So you have to upload the ASDM image. For that purpose, already I have downloaded that image from website that is ASDM. You can see over here, right? ASDM dash. This is the image I am going to upload. Okay, right. So for that purpose, I am using TFTP server from my management computer. I will just open the TFTP server, and this is my directory ASDM show directory, right? And I will choose the IP address network interface card which I am going to use, that is 152.11. this is the one, right? Then we will type the command from the console, copy TFTP, then you have to provide the slash mark, then you need to provide the file name, right? I will just go to show directory, then you can watch the file name over here, ASDM-7141-46.bin. Then you have to upload this one for the flash drive, flash/, then with the same name we will upload ASDM-7141-46.bin. then we will enter. Then they will ask what is the IP address of TFTP server, 192.168.152.11, enter. then the source file name like this, and destination file also like this. Enter. Then it will try to access the TFTP server and try to upload the image from TFTP server to our ASA firewall. Okay, now you can verify image is being uploaded to the ASA firewall. dir flash. This is the image, right? I will point out that image by using the command called ASDM image. This is the command. Then you have to provide from which drive we have to pick the image. That is disk 0 slash, and this is the image name, right? Enter. Right, so we have pointed out the image name by using ASDM image command. Then you can access via graphical user interface. At the same time, you need to enable the HTTP service. HTTP service already being enabled in the firewall, so you can verify all the thing by using show run command. This is the IP address, and management interface security level is 100. And you can see HTTP service must be there. Let's see. Yes, HTTP service is enabled, and from which subnet it should be active. 192.168.152.0/24 subnet, right? So now try to access this firewall via graphical user interface. I've just typed the IP address of firewall interface 152.1. Okay, now they will ask install the ASDM launcher. So I will click install ASDM launcher. Then it will download that specific file. Then you have to install this particular software in your computer. When you download this software, before that they will request one more thing. You have to enable the Java runtime environment, right? So if your computer doesn't have JRE, then you have to download and install it. So it's already being installed in my computer. So what I will do, I will just close and I will open that application, Cisco ASDM launcher, right? So this is the application. I had to provide the IP address of management interface, and one more thing, you can provide the password over here. Username I will give admin, and password, right? In production environment, do not use this kind of password. This is just testing purpose, that's it. Okay, right. Then you can give some privilege level. I will just give privilege level 15, right? So regarding privilege level, I will come with another video. Privilege level, right? So I will just go like this and show run. So now the configuration is there. Now this time when you log into ASDM launcher, they will ask the username and password. I will give admin. By default there is no username and password, so I will give the password. You can remember this password, that way every time it will not ask. So this graphical user interface normally we will use in order to configure the configuration as well as for monitoring the firewall, right? At the same time we can do all the configuration via terminal as well. Here everything you can configure. You can monitor your firewall, that is a very important thing. Here you can see VPN summary, you can see system and resources status, how much resources is consumed by the firewall, and all those kind of things you can verify from this graphical user interface, right? So here you can set up, and this is interfaces also you can see over here, and routing, you can configure some routing over here as well. Again, if you want to change the password, then you can use this, and system date and time you can change. And if you click the firewall, you can verify net rules, and access rule, those kind of thing you can verify from here. Okay, next thing, security level. When you come to security level in ASA Firewall, each interface will be assigned to different security zone. So you can assume security zone, it is just a name for the interface. So here we have 3 interfaces. For all 3 interfaces have been assigned with different security zone. Here in the right side, left side, you can see inside, this is outside, this is DMZ. This is what security zone. So it will be assigned to interface. The ASA firewall will control the traffic flow by using something called security level. So security level will be given out of 100. By default, Cisco ASA software can identify 2 zones. Those are inside and outside. If you give name inside for the interface, automatically 100 will be given. Remaining all names will be given with 0, right? So higher the security level, the more trusted level, right? So this security level will decide the trust level of each security zones. Okay, this is the default behavior of traffic flow in ASA firewall. According to security level, it will be decided. So from higher security level, it can reach to any one of the interface with the lower security level. So according to this, from inside network, the packet can reach to DMZ and outside, lower security level, and from DMZ it can reach to inside. It cannot reach to inside because this is higher security level, so packet will be dropped. To the outside it can route the packet because it is lower security level, and from outside it cannot reach to inside, and even for the DMZ as well because it is higher security level as compared to outside. Okay, let's verify with different scenarios, right? Here from higher security level to lower security level, which means from inside to outside, the traffic will be allowed by default, right? And from a lower security level to higher security level, the traffic will be stopped, right? It will drop the packet. And if you would like to give an exemption in order to allow the packet from lower security level to higher security level, then you can use the allowed access list over here, right? So this is one scenario. The next scenario, you have higher security level, lower security level. This is default behavior. And also if you would like to stop the default behavior for certain computer or certain computer which reside in internet, then you can use the blocked access list in order to block the traffic from inside to outside, right? This is the next scenario. The third scenario is like this. You have higher security level and outside is 0 security level. By default, traffic will be blocked from outside to inside here. And if you would like to allow any traffic which is relevant to you, then you can create an access list as you can see here in the second arrow. Okay, fourth scenario, little different. In this scenario, traffic will not be allowed in both way, right? Why? The both security level is same to same. Here you can see is the 100, here also 100. Inside 01, this is inside 02, right? This way as well as from this way, from right to left, left to right, the traffic will not be allowed. So if you want to allow this traffic, then you have to execute a command called same-security-traffic space permit space inter-interface. This command must be executed, then automatically the traffic will be allowed, vice versa, right? Thereafter, if you want to block the traffic from inside to outside or outside to inside, then additionally you need to create a blocked access list. This blocked ACL will override this command. Okay, through this demonstration I will help you to understand about traffic flow in ASA Firewall, and once we finish this demonstration we will do some testing. From inside to outside I must be able to reach, and from outside to inside we will do some testing and I must not be able to reach, right? It must be blocked. And similarly from inside to DMZ allowed, and from outside to DMZ and outside to inside will be blocked. These things we will test by using this demonstration. Okay. I will configure the remaining configuration in ASA Firewall. Let's start with IP configuration command in each interface. Before that, let's verify with show interface IP brief command. According to this, you can verify all the interfaces not configured with the IP configuration. IP address 192.168.1.100/24 subnet mask. Then you know shut in order to make the port up. Then you have to give the name for the interface. We will provide inside name for the interface. Name if. This is the way you need to provide the name for the interface. Name if inside. The security level of 100 will be given over here, right? So more trusted level this is, right? Then we will come to gig 0/1, that is our internet side. Gig 0/1 IP address 192.168.2.100/24 subnet mask. Then again over here also no shut. Then you have to provide the name for the interface. Name if outside. Then security level 0 will be given over here. Except inside interface, all remaining interface will be given with security level of 0. Right. Next, DMZ interface gig 0/2 no shut. Name for this interface DMZ, and here also you can verify security level 0 will be given. And IP address, let's assign 192.168.3.0, then /24 subnet mask. Okay, 3.1. 3.100. Right. Next thing, again let's verify with the show interface IP brief command. Okay, all three interfaces are configured with the IP address and port also up, as well as security level also being given to the interfaces. You can verify the security level by using show run command. Okay. So here security level 100 given for the inside interface. For the outside and DMZ, security level 0 given and IP address also assigned. Next thing, let's configure the default route for the internet side. So in ASA, when you configure the default route, you have to give the command route outside, not like iOS router. In iOS router, you will use IP route command. Similarly here you will use route outside command, slightly different. 000. Then you need to point out the IP for which interface the ASA need to route the packet if that ASA doesn't know the path, right? So that path would be, that interface would be 192.168.2.1. Okay, here also I will get into the global configuration mode. I will change the name hostname R1, router 1 R1. Then interface gig 0/ here Ethernet interface, Ethernet 0/0. IP address 192.168.1.1/24 subnet mask. Then no shut. You can ping the IP address of firewall interface. Ping, because it is a connected interface, that's right. Okay, similarly in router 2 also we will configure the IP address. Okay, enable, then global configuration mode. First of all, I will change the name for the router 2 R2. Then we need to configure the interface Ethernet 0/1. This interface I will configure. IP address 192.168.2.1/24 subnet mask. Then no shut. Here also you can verify. Simply this router 2 also can ping the 192.168.2.100. This is firewall interface. Same way, let's configure the IP address in R3. We will change the hostname R3. Interface Ethernet 2 0/2. IP address 192.168.3.1. No shut. Okay. The same way you can ping the firewall. Okay, now let's configure the default route in each router. I will start with router 1. Config IP route 000. Here also 00. Then you need to forward this traffic 192.168.1.100. Okay, according to this, whenever R1 get a packet, and if R1 doesn't know the exact destination, then it will forward the packet to the firewall interface gig0/0, right? So this is what this IP route command. The same way we will provide this IP route command in each router R2 and R3. R2 2.100, R3 config IP route. Okay, now let's enable the telnet session in R1 and R2. According to this, we can check the connectivity in between these two routers. Okay, for the telnet configuration, certain command I will give over here. The same command we will provide in R2 as well. Username admin, password Cisco, then AAA new model. Here I am using local authentication method. Transport input telnet transport. Okay, so this command I will copy in R2 as well. We'll just verify using sure run. Okay, now we have enabled the telnet session in R1 and R2. Now we should verify from R1 we can telnet to R2 or not, right? So according to the theory it should work because R1, the router which resides inside zone, that is security level of 100. So I should be able to telnet from R1 to R2, but in reverse order we cannot do, right? So let's verify it. Telnet 192.168.2.1. Yes, can access the telnet session from R2 router. If we try from R2 to R1, I should not be able to reach according to the theory, right? So telnet 192.168. So from R2 we will telnet to R1 router by using the IP address 192.168.1.1. So I am unable to do the telnet session from R2 to R1, right? Okay, telnet is one of the best method to check the connectivity in between zones, right? But here I didn't check with the ping messages because of what? By default, ASA Firewall has global inspection policy. Whenever any of the protocol work across the ASA Firewall, it will be cross-verified by the global inspection policy. So that global inspection policy will not be available for the ICMP packet by default. So you can verify using showrun command. If I type showrun, here you can verify ICMP protocol will not be inspected by global inspection policy in the ASA firewall. So you can see all the protocol which mentions over here, IP option, NetBIOS, but there is no ICMP. So you have to enable the ICMP to do the inspection by the ASA firewall. So in order to do that, first of all I will just ping from R1 to R2. Let's verify is it working or not. 192.168.2.1. It will not work because of this inspection policy. So we have to give some exception for the ICMP inspection through the ASA firewall by using policy map global policy command. So I will just type this one, policy map global policy class inspection default. Right, once you type here, then you have to inspect that ICMP protocol. Okay, now if you try to ping from R1 to R2, 192.168.2.1, it will be successful. But in reverse order, if you try from 0 security level to 100, it will not work by default without an access list. Ping 192.168.1.1, which is R1 IP address, it will not. And similarly from R1 to DMZ also you can reach, because the DMZ security level is 50, R1 security level is 100. So you can reach ping 192.168.3.1. It will start to work. But in reverse order, if you try from R3 to R1, it will not work. Ping 192.168.1.1, it will not work. Imagine you have two zones with same security level. Then how will be the connectivity? According to this diagram, my inside zone, that is a security level of 100, and for the DMZ we provide security level 50, right? So I will make the DMZ security level 100 like inside, right? So I will get into the global configuration mode, then gig0/2, then security level I will change as 100. Then the traffic flow will not work from R1 to R3 and vice versa. I will try to connect with R1 to R3 by using ping command 192.168.3.1. It will not work. From R3 to R1 also it will not work. 192.168.1.1. So we can make this happen by using one single command. That command must be given globally in ASA Firewall. So I will get into the global configuration mode. Once we give this command, the traffic flow will work vice versa. So I will check from R1. The ping message will work to the R3 router. The same way, if I try to ping from R3 to R1, that one also will start to work. Okay, that's all for this video. With next video we will come with access list with some modification in the diagram, like some server we will keep, as well as we will try to do the connectivity with the default behavior of ASA firewall, and finally we will create some access list and then we will test the connectivity in between zones.